morning. You are listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. Our show is sponsored by Had Golan, the height of taste. So we are off to a little bit of a late start today due to the end of the marathon. For the last 2 weeks, Nachum Segal has been hosting at WFMU a fundraiser, the fundraiser marathon. It has been unbelievable. You can go onto the Facebook page and check out all the amazing and exciting guests he's had in the last week and some of the pledges. I even got to go out there last week. It was a lot of fun to be part of the crew and the part of the team. It is not too late to pledge. So if you want to pledge, you can go on to jmintheam.org and send in a pledge and, you know, send a nice note as well if you can. So thank you very much for your continued support. So this is Table for Two on the Nachum Segal Network. I am your host, Naomi Nachman, and we are going to have an incredible pre-Pesach. Did I say pre-Pesach? I am getting ahead of myself. I meant a pre-Purim lineup. We have got an incredible show. I'm very excited because I have two of my favorite bloggers here in the studio right with me now, and we're going to be making food, eating food, and we're going to share some great Purim food, Purim ideas with all of our listeners today. So I hope you will stick around and tune in for the next hour. If you want to reach me anytime, you can reach me at Naomi@NachumSegal.com. You can join my Facebook page, The Aussie Gourmet. You can reach out to me through my website, theaussiegourmet.com. And I love to hear from all my listeners. I'm about all the food all the time. I love to shop for it, cook it, eat it. I'm a kosher personal chef. I give cooking classes. I cater for people for Shabbat, for Yom Tov. And I'm going to say it, Pesach, because my head is always wrapped around Pesach this time of the year with less than 40 days to go. I know I'm freaking you all out because you've got to get through Purim, but that's why we're going to have a hamantini in just a little bit with Chani Apfelbaum. So, yeah, anytime you don't feel like cooking, you give me a call. I like to hear about your experiences too, so don't forget to write to me and let me know any exciting food places that you want to share with me, what you ate, where you ate it, who you ate it with. I love to hear all about food. Next week, we're going to have a supersized show in Gourmet Glatt from 9 to 10:30, live on location. So come down to Gourmet Glatt. We're going to have Jay Buxbaum from Royal Wines. We're going to have Shifra Klein from Joy of Kosher magazine. We're going to do wine samplings with the correct stemware because that's so important, especially for a beautiful Purim Suda, that you can match the right glasses and the right wine makes all of the difference. And of course, we'll try to include great wines for some of the Seders too. We're going to have Seth Levitt from Had Golan, Abels and Hyman there. We've got cooking demos and giveaways and so much more. So I hope that people will either watch us live on NachumSegal.com or actually come down, be live in person, our studio audience, so to speak, and come down to Gourmet Glatt in Cedarhurst. Okay, so I've got two very exciting guests with me. We were all three of us, even though I didn't get to see Gloria to the end, and Chani, who's also with me, I didn't see her there at all, but I know she was there because, you know, thank God for Facebook, right? But we're all there. That was my kosher food experience of last week, which I didn't touch on last Friday because I wanted to talk about it with my friends here today. But the kosher food and wine experience was absolutely fantastic. Very crowded. It was much more crowded this year than last year. A couple of shout outs to Ari White, the lamb bacon. You are really unbelievable. You just get better and better and better all the time. I love the from Silverleaf, the kale salad. It was fabulous. I like the cantaloupe soup from Basil. The meat from La Marais, I cannot remember what the cut of meat was, but it was outstanding. It was beautiful, medium rare. I mean, if La Marais can't cook a steak right, no one else has a hope, but it was really unbelievable. And of course, the spinach triangles, which is a new product from Abels and Hyman, which were absolutely delicious. A lot of great wines, Drapier Champagne. I love Walden's Creamy Vodka. See, I'm mentioning all the girly drinks because I know a lot of our listeners are women and they like the sweeter drinks. But a shout out to our friend Ari Bergman. He owns Domani Netufa, and he had this rose-colored wine, Basse Galilee. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it was delicious, and it's like you were biting into a grape. So it was really delicious. So you should definitely check that out at your local liquor store. So enough about our little bit of an introduction, because today is really a super show and I want to get straight into it because I've got all, in front of me in the studio on my table. Chani Apfelbaum from Busy in Brooklyn is going to be our first guest, and Gloria Kobrin is going to be our second guest, but we're all going to, share together some of our experiences and talking about food together. We have got in front of us something crazy. Now, for those of you who are listening, people can also watch by going onto the NachumSegal.com website, and you'll see our video. You just click and off you go, or you can watch it on the archives afterwards at Nachum Segal Net on YouTube. One word, Nachum Segal Net on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch our show from the beginning. So, hi, Chani, welcome back to our show. You were on the phone a couple weeks ago. Right. It's about a month or so ago. So now I convinced her on a Friday morning. How lucky am I to have Chani come in person? We have baby in tow, and he's been fantastic. Since the show has started, he's quietened down. And yeah, because he knows that, we want to have a little drink. I have Gloria Kobrin sitting right next to Chani. I don't know if we can see that. Gloria is from her amazing cookbook. She's the first and only, I believe, kosher cookbook app. Because I went on this morning just to double check, doing my homework and research, and when I put in kosher cookbook, yours came up. But for me, it already said open because I already own it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so Gloria's going to sit with us, drink with us, and we're going to have a jolly good time. But Chani is up first, and she's going to talk to us about this hamantini.
Yeah.
I said it right?
Yes,
I kept saying hamantashantini, but that was too much. Hamantini. Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
what is
so
this?
we all need a good cocktail, even before Purim, just in the morning.
to get us through.
To get us through the day. So
Absolutely.
We're happy, especially on Friday, a hectic day like this, we could all loosen up a little.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start off with our hamantini. So my idea was to do a riff on a hamantash. And, hamantashen usually come in apricot and raspberry flavors. So I did two. I did a raspberry hamantini and an apricot. I'm making the apricot one here. And it really does taste very much like apricot. And just for decoration, I decorate the rim in crushed hamantashen.
Okay, so how do we crush this hamantashen? You just take...
So I take a package of, not even a package, you just need a couple. So for the apricot hamantini, I use apricot hamantashen and put it in the blender.
This
so
was
I have
two.
Crumbs.
So for the people that are watching, I have a plate in front of me, and I crushed up two giant ones, and I got a huge plate full.
Right. So what I made is, when you make a cocktail in general, you need to make a simple syrup usually, because you can't put sugar directly in a cocktail. It won't dissolve. So you need to make a simple syrup is when you dissolve it in water, boil it up a little bit and make basically a syrup of water and sugar. So
you see that in a lot of cocktails.
Right.
In traditional cocktail recipes, you see the simple syrup.
Right. So what I did was I made an apricot jam simple syrup by combining equal parts of apricot jam and water. And that's what I have here. I prepared this at home. Okay. And what I did was...
So that's simple syrup mixed with apricot jam.
It's an apricot jam simple syrup, which means I use the apricot jam as the sugar. There's no added sugar.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay, so that's basically water and sugar.
Right. Water and apricot jam,
water
equal
and
parts.
Equal parts.
Yeah, I boil it up, use a whisk to break apart the lumps.
Yeah.
And just let it thicken up, and then set it aside to cool. So this is going to serve two purposes. First of all, we dip the rim of our glass in it, and then into the hamantashen.
Oh, nice.
So that acts as a glue. And the other thing is we use it to sweeten our cocktail. So I start with...
I'm so excited.
I start with a tablespoon of the apricot simple syrup.
Can we get that in for the people that can watch? But we're going to walk everybody through it, and they can go onto your website, busyinbrooklyn.com, to get the recipe.
To get the exact recipe, yes. And I gave the recipe for just about a glass, but you can... Definitely
one glass, that would go nowhere.
So I have my handy little measuring tool.
What do they call that, Gloria? Do you know? A jigger?
I think it's a jigger. I think it's a jigger,
yeah. Right?
Yes. So it measures 1 ounce on one side and 2 ounces on the other. So I got 1 ounce of dark rum.
Okay, dark rum. Okay, Bacardi Select. Okay, Puerto Rican rum. Excellent.
And then I got apricot nectar or apricot juice.
I bought this actually in gourmet glass. So this is actually, this little hamantini segment is our What's for Dinner segment. We may even have two, because I'm going to see if I can get a recipe out of Gloria. So we have Ceres. I don't even know how
Ceres, I think.
Ceres. It's actually South African.
Yeah?
which is
Okay.
called my kind of part of the hemisphere.
Right.
I'm Australian, not South African, but so I bought this in Gourmet Glatt. So our segment is sponsored by Gourmet Glatt, and
Right.
I bought I helped Honey buy all the ingredients from Gourmet Glatt. So thank you to Gourmet Glatt for providing everything for us.
Thank you. Actually, this company makes all different types of juices. Like if you want to make fun cocktails, they have lychee, they have guava, or even to make guava ice cream or sorbet, you would buy. They have really, really good and natural. So
Right. You know
it's
where I
great.
get my lychee sorbet from? Chaya Frischman from Fruit Platters and More in the 5 Towns. They make amazing
yum.
sorbets.
Careful, careful.
She hasn't even had a drink
Dripping.
yet. She's
Right.
spilling.
Already
It's okay. So long as it's not near the computers, Nachum will have my head.
Okay. I forgot to bring ice. Usually, I would shake it in a cocktail. I even have my cocktail shaker, but I forgot to bring
with
ice.
ice. Yeah, but
and then strain it into the glass.
it's cold outside. There's snow on the ground. We
Yeah, we could
there's
just
ice
grab a handful
everywhere.
of that. Yeah. So who wants to taste it? But I didn't mix it though because I don't have my.
Okay, don't worry.
Okay.
Well, you can shaken and not
Shake
stirred.
it. I mean, I
No,
could,
maybe put it in the rum bottle and shake it because you have a top.
but
or
then we'll
maybe-
have extra.
what happens
Okay,
if
we'll
you-
just pour it into this glass.
Pour it into the glass
and then back into this glass.
and back
Right.
into that glass. Oh,
yeah.
Gloria, we're gonna drink, right?
Oh, we're gonna drink.
Oh, you gotta drink.
We're gonna drink this. Like Shevabrachas, that's right.
Right.
That's from ZK.
And look at that. You see how the Hamantaschen didn't even come off because the apricot jam really held it together.
So Hannah was saying she didn't have her cocktail mixer over here. We didn't.
No, I have it. I don't have the ice.
We
to
don't
shake
have the
it up
ice to shake it. Shaken but not stirred. Isn't that the James Bond thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. So she poured it off between 2 different glasses, kind of gave it a mix. It's how you cool soup down fast also. If you're making
Yeah, that's
something, if
true.
you need 1 serving of soup fast for the baby, you just pour it back and forth and it kind of cools it down. So we shook the wine, the martini, the
Hamentini.
and now so normally you would have this with ice. I'm going to just hold it up to the
I mean, you shake it up with ice and then you strain it over. You strain it. You don't
you
keep
strain
the
it.
ice
You don't
in
keep
your
the
hand.
ice in there.
Yeah, 'cause then it
We don't
waters
even
it
have ice
down.
in the studio. Right, waters it down.
Right.
Okay. So what I would like to do is just pour a little bit off for my engineer. Uh-oh. Did you all hear that? Okay. Are you going to be having some new driving soon?
Yeah, I'm trying. So.
Yeah. Okay. So are we going to make a l'chaim
L'chaim.
to Nachum Segal?
Nachum Segal.
L'chaim.
And his incredible network, and jamintheam.org to a successful marathon, to a wonderful Purim, to Miriam Elwalik, station manager extraordinaire, and to the whole team here at the Nachum Segal Network.
L'chaim.
So, L'chaim, Freilich and Purim. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol b'voro.
I mean,
Yum.
That's outstanding.
Delicious.
very apricot-y.
Very
Very
apricot-y.
apricot-y.
It'll be. I can imagine with the ice, it would be outstanding cold.
Yeah.
I feel it go down, right? Empty
Yes.
stomach.
It's good for my sore throat.
Yeah.
It warms everything down.
Oh my God.
It's wonderful.
What is ZK's having a sip? Yeah, big thumbs up. This is delicious. And I love the crunch that the rim has given of the Hamantaschen, the crushed up Hamantaschen around the edge. Fabulous. And how would you plate this? I think you have it on your website with a Hamantaschen.
Yeah, I mean, you could just bring out a tray for your table and have, if you make the raspberry ones, the raspberry one I made with raspberry Snapple and vodka and a raspberry jam simple syrup. And so you have like the orange color and then the raspberry color and just make a big tray of the different ones.
Orange
it
and
looks
red.
so, there's just really great impact there. And put it on your table. And then I also made these really cool glasses. If you want to see how to do these, you can go to my blog. It's going to be going up tomorrow. But these really cool mustache glasses for Purim.
A mustache glass for Purim. That's so
Yeah,
cute.
so
She's
to-
even decorated her. She got her glasses dressed up.
I made different
Can they be seen?
different shapes, different glasses with glitter. And
Oh, so cute.
and and it doesn't come off because I used paint, special Martha Stewart glass paint. So it literally, I've washed these and it's just holding.
So
really
are they
well.
staying there forever?
Yeah.
So these are now your dedicated Purim glasses.
Yes. I mean, they're
Okay.
inexpensive.
But
you know,
you're
I
right,
just
you
bought
can
them
go
for
to
like $2 a piece.
Amazing
Yeah,
savings.
exactly. And it's just fun. You can take pictures, everyone, and you could even buy disposable martini glasses and do it with a Sharpie or glitter and glue. And,
Oh, that's so clever.
And just have,
Disposable martini
so you don't
glass.
have to, dedicate any. You don't have to put any money into it. You don't have to dedicate space for it. Just use disposable ones. I did that. I did that at a demo this week, and we got plastic martini glasses for everybody, glue, glitter, and everyone made their own.
Oh, that is so adorable. So
Yeah.
if we want to make this, because I'm not the biggest crafter,
Okay.
But I like crafting with food, not so much with this glitter and stuff, even though I love glitter. I have like a big thing with glitter.
Really, I mean, when my kids come home with glitter
I know.
in the trash, when
I
they're not looking.
I know. When I was a Mora, in my earlier life, I was a preschool teacher right here on the Lower East Side. I taught at MTJ, and I was obsessed with glitter, and I would send everything home with glitter projects and parasha projects with glitter on
the
it.
parents
the
really
mothers were
appreciate
like ready to kill me.
Well, my grandchildren would love to do this. This would be really fun for them. With
It is
plastic
even to
glasses
like
and
put out
glitter,
as an
glitter
arts
glue.
and crafts
Yeah.
for
And-
like your perm party.
And this
Yeah,
is
they
the
would love
sun.
that.
This is the
Over a
Sunday
plastic mat.
Yeah.
You know, and to protect
kitchen
protect the floor.
table. Cover it with
Yeah.
a plastic mat. This is a great time. This Sunday is a great time to do that because you've either done or about to do your shopping, and Sunday's probably not the best day to run out and do your Shalchmana shopping because very busy in the stores. So
Yeah.
that's a really cool project to do. Okay, so if you want directions on the Hamantini or these glasses with glitter moustaches, go to busyinbrooklyn.com. Now on your website, I can't let this go. You have 2 unbelievable recipes for Purim. Okay, the gluten-free one, because in my family, we started going gluten-free just this week.
Really?
We're-
Wow.
We're up to day 3.
Wow.
Okay.
How are you managing?
Yeah, so gluten and dairy free. So
Wow.
it's a little bit hard. Almond milk in the coffee, not as good as real milk.
Coconut milk in the coffee is good.
So I should try that.
Yes,
I'll tell
almond
my
milk.
husband.
Yeah, it's
Better
much
than almond milk.
creamier. Yeah.
I should try we love almonds. Okay, so I got my husband almond yogurt.
Okay.
And
they also make coconut milk yogurt.
Yeah, I think I have some also, but I have all different ones.
Okay.
Like I bought a few different ones so he can try them, and I also bought the gluten-free bread from Katz's.
Okay.
I bought in Gomeglad in their freezer section. They have a huge gluten-free department. So I'm just trying it to resolve some, health issues that we're having. So we thought the whole family will try it for a couple of days, and we'll see how we go, so we can report back and let everybody know how we're doing. So it's a good thing we don't have cheese sampling here, or else we'll be in trouble because I can't resist a good piece of cheese. Okay, so you had with the whole segue for about the gluten-free was your gluten-free Hamantaschen. Incredible.
Thank you. I actually a whole year I spent dreaming of Hamantaschen ideas. I had so many ideas, but I've just found that that's the trend right now is gluten-free, vegan, raw. Raw is a big trend right now.
Big.
Yeah. And I'm also, trying to lose my baby weight on a diet myself. So I really wanted to come up with a healthy Hamantash. So I basically made the Hamantash dough with dates and almonds and some cocoa powder, cinnamon, and it's just completely raw. Then for the inside, I used an almond paste. Really, my inspiration was, I'm sure you've seen it in the stores. They have medjool dates stuffed with a piece of marzipan and an almond on top and rolled in coconut.
Or rolled in bacon. Kosher bacon.
Oh, that's delicious.
Kosher bacon from
Ari White.
From Ari White.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so basically that was my inspiration. So I said I'm going to turn that idea into a Hamantash. So I made my own almond paste because usually traditional almond paste, they add egg white to hold it together. So I want it to be egg-free too. Because if we're having it, gluten-free, egg-free, well, it's not sugar-free.
I was going to say, tell me it's not sugar-free because once you've
It's not
taken out the gluten and the eggs, you've got to have something.
Well,
right?
let me tell you, dates are naturally so sweet.
Right.
So I didn't add any sugar to the dough. The almond paste, it actually needs sugar for the consistency. I tried working with honey. I tried it with different ways. It didn't really come together well. So you can also use the canned almond paste. It's really good. I've used it before that they sell. But they're really good. I actually I had a bunch in my freezer. I brought them to my demo this week that I did, and everybody devoured them. They love them.
Oh, my God. It sounds terrific.
Yeah.
And that recepe's on your blog.
On my blog, yes.
Incredible. I know we're trying it out, family, for a few days. We'll see how long that lasts. But a lot of the movement, I'm talking about it all the time. It's one of the, a kosher fest. Was right, Gloria? You were also there?
Yes, I
You
was.
notice how much gluten-free from 10 years ago till today.
Absolutely.
Walmart.
Aisles and aisles.
Right. You got a Walmart. You got a Target. Gourmet Glut. Any, I don't know what supermarkets are in your neighborhoods, but
Fairway.
Fairways.
Has a big area that's gluten-free.
And
Costco has gluten-free.
and they all have
Everyone has-
OUs.
Yes.
It
everything
must
has
be
OUs.
like a thing amongst Jews that we are more gluten intolerant because they've all got hechshes.
Well, it works with Passover, so they get double duty out of it.
Right.
It's gluten-free, but it also then gets the OUP when they
Yeah,
change over.
when they need it, but
When they need it, right.
it's unbelievable.
Right.
So this is nice to have. Now, one other, it's probably also gluten free. She had this blew my mind. I actually told my husband while I was preparing the show. I shouted at her, "Oh my God, she has sushi Hamantaschen!" It's crazy. How did you come up with that one?
I don't know. I don't know. I come up with these crazy ideas in the middle of the night when I can't sleep. Yeah, so it's basically, it's an Asian, it's thing they make a lot for bento boxes. Kids love it. It's called onigiri. So they have actually a little mold, a triangle mold.
Yeah, where did we get that from? Did you
I
see
bought it on
Gloria?
Amazon.
No, I
I
didn't.
got to show it to you. Okay, Amazon.
I bought it on Amazon, yeah.
What's it called?
An onigiri mold.
can we
I hope
spell
I'm
that?
pronouncing that properly. O-N-I.
O-N-I-G-I-R-I.
G-I-R-I. Right.
Okay, onigiri. O-N-I-G-I-R-I. It's
Right.
available on Amazon, and it's a triangular mold.
Right.
You can see it on Honey's website.
You can
Izzy in Brooklyn.
I actually show on my website how to make it without it. You can do it with plastic saran wrap. Just
Okay.
you're molding it basically with your hands.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if you're triangle cookie cutter,
That
work?
Yeah, maybe.
maybe spray the
Yeah.
inside with pan so
Yeah.
it slots out easily.
Yeah. I've done a lot of crazy things with sushi. I did a sushi snowman on my blog this winter.
Oh, I totally missed that one. Okay, that's
I actually
crazy.
made a wedding, like it looked like a wedding cake with sushi once for a bake off for a fundraiser, and yeah, I like to play around with sushi.
That is cool. Sticky rice is very malleable, right?
It is, yes, very much.
And yummy.
And yummy,
There's
right?
actually someone on Instagram. I don't know. I think she's in China or something, but she makes incredible things out of sushi. Like,
We have to
incredible.
try that. So we'll,
Yeah. But I also have baklava hamantaschen that I made last year, where I made traditional baklava, but as a riff on the hamantash, instead of a honey syrup, I made an apricot syrup, and I cut the tops of the baklava. You know how baklava, if you look at it in a tray, they're cut into kind of like slanted rectangles.
Yeah,
let's say.
yeah.
So instead of doing that, I cut them into triangles, and I cut the center of each triangle out, so you saw the nut filling inside.
Oh,
So it just looks like a tray of hamantaschen, but it's baklava. It's amazing. So I made that last year. You can see that on my blog too.
Sounds delicious.
I know, right?
yeah.
I'm going to go raid your freezer. We'll eat your leftovers.
And actually, next week I have something really cool coming up on the blog. Some people actually, I don't know if you know this, but some people have a minhag to eat salami on Purim because you hang salami.
Oh, well, you know, that's perfect because my table for two is sponsored by Abels and Hyman Hod Golan Meat, and they have taught us, and we speak incessantly about hanging salami.
Wow. Yes. So some people actually have a minhag to eat salami.
Seth, did you hear that? You must be so excited.
Yeah.
I did not
next
know
week,
that.
I made something called drunken Hasselback salami.
I saw it.
Oh, I saw it. That was fabulous.
It is so. I'm not even a salami person. I could have eaten the whole thing myself. My husband, my
Try it with
son's
Segal.
like, it tastes like candy. My husband's like, oh my God, what is this? I put brandy in the sauce, and I have a really great trick for cutting. I don't know if you know what Hasselback is, but
So
basically,
why don't you explain it? Because there's Hasselback is usually potatoes, right? So you explain
So
a little-
Hasselback potatoes are basically potatoes that you slice thinly, but you don't slice it all the way through, so it looks like an accordion. And a great trick is to put a chopstick on each side of the potato, because then when you cut, your knife hits the chopstick and doesn't go all the way to the end.
Oh, very cute.
So that's how I slice my salami to get it perfect, you know.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
got
I saw
nice
that.
thin slices, and then I made a sauce with apricot jam, a la, you know, hamantaschen idea. I think it seems like I really like apricot jam, right?
It's okay. It's not a bad thing to like.
No, you know what? I just like to, like, you know, just fuse all the ideas.
Brilliant.
Fusion cooking, they call
I
it.
love
right?
it. I was tip of my tongue.
Yeah, so I put apricot jam, spicy brown mustard, some brandy, a little bit of ketchup and brown sugar. That recipe is going to go up on my blog next week, but it really was so incredible. It tasted so good, and it will definitely be like, you know, if you put that on your Purim table, it's going to have a definite wow factor.
I am so going to make that.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang my salami already because Seth keeps supplying me with amazing servalots. Try it with a servalot, which is Abels and Hyman's. It's not a salami. It's absolutely. It looks like those big salamis, but you hang it out. It's got a lot more flavors in it. And when you hang it after like 2 weeks, to to die for.
Would love to try that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get you some.
Okay.
You'll create us some recipes and we'll talk about it on the air.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You're absolutely incredible. I know that Honey is rushing off to take this gorgeous baby to the doctor today.
Yes, I am. But it was such a pleasure to be here. And you have Gloria has a lot to say. She's a very talented cook herself.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so glad that I had both of you in my studio. I'm like a little starstruck from both of you guys.
We're starstruck from you. What do you mean?
But thank you so much for coming. And, we hope to hear from you. Check back on Honey's blog, busyinbrooklyn.com, for some of the amazing ideas that we spoke about on our show and the recipe for this absolutely divine humantini. Okay.
Okay, happy Purim, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much for joining us.
You're so welcome.
You are listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. Our show is sponsored by Hod Golan, the height of taste. Okay, we are very excited because we are at the height of our taste now. I just want to get on the phone. A very special friend of mine from my growing up days in Australia. He's actually Australian. Daniel Mushmeyer. He is the executive director of the Young Israel movement in Israel. So he's got some very exciting news to share with us. He came on the show last year to talk to us. We're just going to do a little switch around. Honey's going to have to leave us. So she's going to run off to her doctor's appointment. Gloria's going to move up a seat and she's going to chat with us more about her amazing website that's about to go live. She's going to talk to us more about it and talk about her cookbook app, which is absolutely incredible. I was one of the first people to buy it all those years ago. Okay, bye, baby. Okay, do you need any help, honey? We're gonna get you some help. You're okay? Yeah, I think I'm okay. Okay, she's a capable mum. These young mums these days. Okay, because she really is busy in Brooklyn, literally busy. Okay, all right. Have we got Mush on the phone? Okay, Mush.
Hi, Naomi.
Hi, mate. How are ya?
Good, good. Shalom Aleichem from Eretz Israel.
Oh, thank you. I wish I was there with you.
Okay, I think you wish you were here today, and I bet you wish you were with us next week as well.
Oh, absolutely. Mush, how's the weather there in Israel?
It's beautiful at the moment. It's really nice and warm. And anyone who wants to escape the snow, it's just another good reason to be here in Yerushalayim.
Well, I'm on the Lower East Side right now, and it's still got big chunks of snow and ice all over the ground. It's very cold here. Well, today, it's I don't know when it's going to get above freezing. I mean, the last few days it's cold, and nights are cold.
To get Miami this year, come to Yerushalayim.
Oh, absolutely, and come permanently. Okay, Mush, you got some very exciting news to share with us, as you did last year.
I do indeed. We've been busy for the past few weeks, Naomi. A few great organizations, which I'll tell you about in a moment. Because, as you know, our Chayalim, our brave soldiers, defend us day and night. And Purim is one of the times we like to say thank you to them. So, B'ezrat Hashem, next week, right up to the day of Purim, we'll be distributing 10,000 Mishloach Manot to the Chayalim.
Beautiful. Where do you give them to them? How do you get them to them?
So we're going to be going to bases from the Lebanese and Syrian border in the north. We're going to be going to the naval dockyards in Haifa. We're going to 2 Air Force bases in the south. We're going to the Nachal training base near Arad. We're going near Hebron and many other places as well. Our friends and members from all around the world have kindly donated funds. Our friends and members are coming to deliver. This year, what's especially special is that we're going to get to the 10,000 mark, which has never been done before. And we're doing this in coordination with the IDF Rabbinate. So the IDF Rabbinic Choir will be coming and playing concerts on the bases as well, together with the Chief Chazan.
Beautiful. I bet the Chaylim really get them through every day. It's hard to be in the army, and this something to really look forward to.
That's correct. And the thing that gives them the most smiles we noticed year after year after year is letters and pictures that Jewish school children have written from all over the world, from Australia and South Africa and England and America. We give them the goodies, the candy and the food, but they love the letters. Then later on I'll give you an email address if anyone wants to write a letter to a chayal, to a soldier. I'll be happy to pass that on for them.
Okay, that'll be incredible. This is such a beautiful thing that you do. I've actually got the flyer in front of me. A Mishloach Manot campaign 2014. And you can send money towards the Mishloach Manot that are given out to the Chaylim. They want to hit 10,000 Mishloach Manot. So, give a suggested donation, right? Do they go onto the website? Does it tell them how much they should give or how to do it?
Every dollar counts towards the Chaylim. Just while I have the opportunity, I'd like to thank you, the partners in this program, Naomi.
Sure.
Mr. Ruben Margolis from Brooklyn spearheads the campaign every year, the chairman of the ZOA in Brooklyn, together with Jeff Dalby. Mr. Meir Mishkoff, also from New York, from the American Friends of Israel Hatzair. Mr. Leon Blankrot, the executive director of Yashar L'Chayal. Cease Harrisberg and Shelley Vogel from Young Israel. And Solly Sachs and Daniel Cohen from the World Mizrahi. And this year, all these great people decided to get together so they could do one big campaign and get to 10,000 soldiers.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's such a beautiful thing. Do you go down there? Are you one of the volunteers?
Yeah, I am indeed. I go to every base and help give out the packages to everyone. So the whole of next week, we're closing the office and we'll be on the road.
And if people are in Israel and they want to help out, is that possible as well?
For sure. On Tuesday next week, we are inviting the public to come and join us.
Oh,
beautiful. If any of your listeners are flying to America or are here at the moment, please contact me at the following email address, iyimisrael@gmail.com. That's iyimisrael@gmail.com. Send me a letter and hopefully we'll be able to find a place for you on the bus to come and help give them out.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Now, if people want to write letters to the Chayalim and notes, I have a lot of listeners here in the States that would love to send a nice letter to the Chayalim.
They should also send to that email address the letter. And if anyone would like to send Mishloach Manot to financially contribute,
yeah, how do we do that?
Chayalim, or in fact to any of their family or friends in Israel,
oh, nice.
They should go to www.yimanot, MANOT.org, O-R-G.
Beautiful. That's a wonderful thing that you do. It really shows appreciation to the people that are standing and fighting and protecting Eretz Israel and keeping us safe and our borders strong.
That's correct, Naomi. These people, these soldiers, these young men and women have such Mesiras Nefesh. It's incredible. While we sleep at night, we know we can sleep at night because they're protecting us. And it's everybody's children and grandchildren and neighbors. It's like everyone's there fighting on the borders. It's quite amazing.
Unbelievable. Such a beautiful thing to do. Mush, thank you so much for joining us. It was really great to speak to you.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Purim Sameach to you and your listeners.
Thank you.
And we hope to welcome everyone to Yerushalayim again. If anybody is in the country or flying in for Purim, that'll be www.yimanot.org for orders, or yiyimisrael@gmail.com if they want to join us on a bus.
That would be absolutely incredible. I wish they could be there with you. Maybe we'll have to do a show from one of these bases. We'll have to talk to Nachum and Miriam about that.
For sure. Next time you're here or Nachum's here, we're more than happy to take you to meet them.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Mush, for joining us. Shabbat Shalom. Regards to the family.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Purim Sameach to everybody.
Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom. That was Daniel Mushmeyer, Executive Director for the Young Israel Movement in Eretz Israel, talking to us about sending Mishloach Manot, or sending money for Mishloach Manot to the Chayalim, and also writing letters to the Chayalim that will accompany the Mishloach Manot. It's such a beautiful and wonderful thing to do, to thank them and appreciate, to keep us safe while we're visiting Israel and while some of our family and friends have the beautiful, blessed opportunity to live there. So you're listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. Our show is sponsored by Hod Golan Meats, the height of taste. Now we're going to continue our show. Honey has left. I have scooched up Gloria. Hi. Welcome.
Hi. How you doing?
Okay. So hello. Her son has also joined us. Hello. How are you?
Hi.
Has he got a mic? I don't even know if he's got it. Go to the mic. Go say hi. Okay. This is her son. There he is, sneaking on a hello. How you doing?
Okay, I've got my trusty little hammer.
Okay, and now let's move the...
Yes.
This is my hamartini. I'm going to drink that after the show. Okay. So before we talk about this fabulous dessert that I see in front of us, I'd like just to get a little bit and fill in. I know a little bit about you, okay, but I want my listeners to know how lucky I am to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I'm lucky.
Because, Gloria was and is the only person to have a cookbook app on the iPhone, and it was a hot pick as well when it came out.
We were very fortunate.
That's incredible. Talk to us at the beginning about your journey. How come it didn't end up as a cookbook?
Well, I had worked very hard on a cookbook. I think, as I told you the other night, it was rejected by at least a dozen very impressive publishers.
Very silly of them.
Very, very impressive publishers. You would know all of their names. It then came back. It was accepted by somebody. There was a little bit of an issue. We had a problem. There's always a little something. It came back to my doorstep, and I put it away and thought, I better start to do something else. So I actually became a mediator for a space of time. And then one day, minding my own business, I picked up the phone, and my son, same one who's sitting here with me, was on the other end, and he said, "Okay, Mom, this is a yes or no moment."
Uh-oh.
Rather scary
Drum roll.
greeting, yes. And I said, "Okay, what does that mean?" He said, I have this idea to do a kosher app, a kosher cookbook app, and there's a group of people here. It was actually at a meeting at the UN. He said, the group of people here, and
cool.
And everyone wants to know, like, who knows someone with a cookbook ready to go? And he said, Mom.
My mom.
So this was the yes or no moment. I forget what month this was, but I know we had about 3 months to change the format of a cookbook into the format of an app. So from a book where you would turn pages and have the freedom of going back and forth, you're going into an app that is this tiny little creature that's become my best friend.
Oh, and all of our best friends.
But it's very difficult to reformat. I mean, in your mind. So while I did recipes for a cookbook that went one to the other, coconut lemon cake followed by lemon filling, followed by 7-minute icing, all one after the other to make it easy for the cook, that's too long a recipe for an app, which is just this tiny little screen.
Right.
So we had, and Apple, who produced the app, needed, I believe, a minimum of 300 recipes. They needed, so much content before they would be involved in putting out the app. So I sort of divided a lot of my recipes into 3. And that helped me get the recipes ready in that space of time. And then it was launched. We had a big launch party in my apartment. We had bloggers from all over. We had the Jewish Week was there. We had people from Skyview Wines, and it was really a lot of the pictures are on the app site, on the blog site, koshercookbook.blogspot.com, which will now be changed over to my new website, which drum roll, which kosherbygloria.com, which might launch even today. Oh, that would be up to
that would be incredible.
Up to the producer over here.
Okay.
So we're gonna see. We're gonna see if that happens.
So the blogspot's gonna
everything will be pointed over
to Kosher by Gloria.
Correctly. Correct. We've started to take some of the things over. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I'm working on new things, but people do depend on some of the older recipes and some of the older pictures. So I've been trying to reblog them on my Kosher Cookbook site so that people can see them. And I'm making minor corrections as they go because there are mistakes that are made. And as we get healthier and healthier, I've replaced margarine with oil. I use a lot of coconut oil. Use a lot of earth balance now. So there are changes that we make as we learn, as we continue in this business.
Isn't it amazing? When I first went to my kids' school, I got a cookbook from them, and everything was you saute for a soup. You saute the onions in a little bit of margarine, and then you sweat them, and then you add in some other vegetables. Who sautés anything in margarine anymore?
You don't at all.
No one.
Right, absolutely. It's olive oil, coconut oil. Right.
I just made my first coconut oil recipe.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, Melinda Strauss from kitchen-tester.com.
Right, she's terrific.
Helped me through that because I'd never worked with it, and it's a wee bit expensive.
It is a little bit expensive, but you can use less of it than you would use margarine, and it doesn't really give that coconut taste.
Yeah, I thought it might. Melinda warned me, but I did not find it coconut.
Very mild.
Yeah, it's very mild.
Yeah, so it's a terrific thing, and I love the smell in the house as it's cooking.
It's fabulous.
Yes, yes. I actually made a potato kugel with it a couple weeks ago, which was quite surprising. And the only one who guessed that had coconut oil, actually the only 2 people who guessed, was my 7-year-old grandson and my son.
Okay,
they picked out the coconut oil, so clearly their palates are very refined.
So did you? Okay, so about coconut oil in the potato kugel, did you melt the coconut oil to put into the? Like I use 1/4 cup of oil in my recipe, which is not so much of canola. So should I do 1/4 cup of melted?
My coconut oil was in a bottle. It was sort of semi-liquid, semi-solid. Okay. And I just took 1/4 cup measuring cup and put that in and scooped.
So interesting.
And it was delicious. It was really, really delicious. I mean, there was something that was different. It was a little lighter. most
a good
people
thing.
would not have known. Most people would not have known that it was coconut
Do I get
oil.
a thumbs up? Thumbs up. When your kids eat it, you know, they're always your toughest critics.
My family, yes, he's a very, very, this one is a very, Jonathan is a very, very tough critic. And actually all my family, except for my husband. He will eat anything I put in front of him.
Awesome, mine
yes,
too.
Yes, very awesome. But the rest of my family, everyone has something to say.
Right.
Often,
But you
often
want
at
that.
polar opposites, but they all have something to say.
But that's good because they keep us in tow.
Absolutely.
You know,
They keep us sharp.
Yeah. Or else, you know,
Right.
if we made something that was really yucky, we need to know it.
Absolutely. And many things do, you know, we decide just not to make them again and we throw them out.
Yeah.
Yes. Can't be perfect every time.
Yeah, I had that recently.
Yes,
So, you know,
we
you
all
live
do.
and,
It's
you live
just-
and learn. You live and learn.
Exactly.
So when this blog came, how did you become a hot pick? That's what. How did it become so
I think
quickly picked up by Apple?
iTunes, I think, I'm not the technology expert. I don't really know how these things work. All I know is that one moment, it was a hot pick. I mean, somehow, I guess a lot of people downloaded it at one time and it was a new thing. And it became a hot pick. It was very exciting.
Right, and it's like buying a book, right? It costs a few dollars, right?
It was originally $4.99.
Yeah.
I mean, Apple takes a third, just so
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, right. So she's left with $1.
Yeah, this is not a seriously,
Right.
financially rewarding
Even
situation.
cookbooks are not financially rewarding
But
situations.
I have to tell you, I thought the whole thing was insane at the beginning, I have to say, because I'm not, I love books. I still love my paper books.
Right.
This is an amazing tool. I mean, when I go into Fairway or I go into Costco and I say, and I change my mind about what I'm making, I don't have the rest. I say, how much of that do I need? And I just pull it up on my app and I say, look at that.
It's right there.
It's all there. I don't have to think that I have to go back home and go check and see what it is. It's very exciting.
Right, so, like in my notes here, because I went through it this morning, I can't find my iPhone. I actually have it pulled up, but you have yours here.
I do.
But I noticed, have you done some additions lately, some little bit of changes?
There were a couple of updates not on the iPhone, not on the app for quite a while. There are changes on my kosher cookbook page that I keep updating, all kinds of new recipes that I keep putting on. And Kosher by Gloria will have a bunch more.
Everything. Yeah,
Right.
no, because I really like the planner.
Oh, the planner is terrific.
I didn't notice it before, or it was a new addition since I'd seen it
No,
last.
that was my original idea for the cookbook. It was
Fabulous.
52 weeks of Shabbos, so it's sort of based on the schedule of Shabbos. So what you would make in a winter Shabbos when it begins at 4:15 or something like that.
Oh, God.
You wouldn't make lamb chops or veal chops that's going to absolutely die by 6 or 6:30 whenever you're eating. As opposed to, so you'd make a boeuf bourguignon or a coq au vin, something saucy, as opposed to in the summer when Shabbos begins at 7ish, and you can make something that you can eat within 20 minutes or half an hour of when it's taken out of the oven.
Right,
And then
right.
how those meals morph into
So
lunch.
they come as a list
Yes.
in the iPhone app. It's genius.
It's all done if you do, for newlyweds or anyone who is new to observing Shabbat and all. It's a great tool. I mean, they can literally follow week by week and just make what there is.
I think menu planning for a lot of my listeners and for a lot of my friends as well is the hardest thing. If you're having company on Shabbos, Tuesday I'm already busy, which is 4 days before Shabbos, thinking what am I going to make? They're so stressful. You're going to, I love cookbooks. Definitely, I love cookbooks. But it's so you got to find the recipes, and I go onto my blogs and different ideas, and I concoct things in my own head because I love to make recipes. But this is done for you.
It is.
With a recipe, and with a recipe, we have the shopping list.
Right.
It builds a shopping list for you from the recipe that you choose.
Yes. Yes.
Brilliant.
It was. I can take credit for none of that. Just for the recipes, and I'll say that Kosher by Gloria is also going to be based on Wednesday. Okay, it's Shabbat on Friday. We have to, you have to plan your menu. You have to call your butcher or whatever. I mean, I get my meat delivered, I have to say. So I
Okay.
have to call the
Who do you
butcher.
go to?
I have to organize. I use Fisher Brothers and Leslie,
Okay.
who are very, very kind, and they respond to all my crazy requirements. So I
Okay.
ask, I need so much of it. And so I do the planning on Wednesday, do some of the shopping. Thursday, do some of the advanced prep. And actually some of the things that are better the next day, things I need to make and take the fat off, on Friday. And then Friday, what I do at the end, at the end of the day. So that will be a regular feature in Kosher by Gloria. So people could actually follow along with, if they want to use my menus, they can follow along with how I'm planning to make them and cook them from Wednesday through Friday.
It's unbelievable. I find
almost like having everyone in the kitchen with me.
Right, that's what I say. You cook
so
with
nice.
me,
Yes.
cook with me,
Yes.
cook alongside.
I have a big crowd.
It's very cute. Do you have a big kitchen? Because I know you live in the city.
I actually do have a big kitchen, which in a few weeks is going to be demolished. We moved into this apartment 28 years ago. We have the 28-year-old temporary kitchen.
Okay.
We just couldn't do it then. It was just too much work and far too expensive. And it's still both of those things. But I don't have young children at home whose lives will be disrupted by not having a kitchen. I was able to feed them during all that time.
You hear that?
So
Don't go to Mum for dinner this next few weeks.
I bring food to his office. I bring food wherever he is. So it's, he will not.
You are a lucky
man. He will not suffer. But, I will have it will be a whole new focus. How to cook with a microwave, a toaster oven, a skillet on one burner.
You're like a college student.
Yes.
You'll be like those girls at, Stern College or Touro College or
That's me.
dorming in Brooklyn where they don't have ovens.
The college student grandma. That's going to be me.
That's so cute.
That's going to be me.
I've got a great recipe. I did a cooking class with Stern College last year on how to make soup in the microwave, how to make a chocolate cake in the microwave.
I will be back at you.
Okay, I'm going to send you those recipes.
My daughter actually learned to make my cheesecake in a toaster oven when she spent her year in Israel, so I will ask her how she did that. Oh, yes. This whole thing is a family affair. My daughter actually was blogging for me. We sort of take turns. She's able to be my voice a little bit.
Oh, lovely.
I do most of it, but she does the tweets because I haven't gotten the 140 characters down straight yet.
Yeah. I'm learning.
It's a learning curve.
I'm getting much better at it.
I have a lot of learning curves.
A hashtag,
Yes.
The hashtag.
I started Instagramming this week.
Yeah,
and
good for you.
Someone was so sweet.
I'm going to follow you. Everyone, follow. What are you under?
I'm under, actually, on my phone, it says Kosher by Gloria, but somehow when it comes out on Facebook, it comes out as Gloria Kobrin. So I don't really, again, technology eludes me completely. I don't really know how that works.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram under Naomi Nachman, not the Aussie Gourmet, the name of my business, and I just kept it.
But somebody was so sweet. This guy, Simon, and excuse me, Simon, if you're listening and I mispronounced your name, Simon Royf, I believe it is. I met him at the Kosher Bloggers Conference.
Oh, how fun was that?
It was terrific. And Melinda did a fabulous job, as always.
Yep.
But I had hashtagged something, and he wrote me a little note. He says, Gloria, you have to separate between the hashtags for them to show up. I said, oh, thank you so much. And then I was able to edit it and separate it and have all the hashtags, light up.
It's
because
so...
I said, okay,
I know.
My mind is exploding. It's so much to do.
We need a lesson for social media for the people that aren't anyone over 25.
No, and really, for over possibly 45, we need several lessons.
Yeah.
We need to be told more than once.
Yeah.
More than once.
But the Instagram has become unbelievable, and I've had it for maybe not even 2 years, and every day there are more and more people getting onto it. A lot of my friends are not on Facebook. They just can't be bothered and are not interested.
Right.
It's not going to help them business-wise, but they will join Instagram, and that way I can share a little bit what I'm doing, and I can put a link to my picture of my, my recipe that I forgot to mention it to Honey was I'm working on a recipe with Abels and Hyman for pastrami hamantaschen.
Oh, I saw that online this morning.
Right. So I put it on Facebook and I put it on Instagram, and so many people saw it on Instagram more than on Facebook because
for sure.
It's like the new app.
Right.
Not app. Yeah, I would call it an app. Right?
I actually had this. I Instagrammed this.
Okay. Now what is this? We have this round dessert.
This is an Italian almond tart. I actually found it in Rome. Many years ago when I was there. And I was fascinated by it because it was much smaller because it was just served to two of us.
Okay.
It wasn't. But when I was in Rome, they presented us with this tart together with a hammer.
A hammer.
And
okay,
I did
If we got this on
Yes. I did ask the waiter. I said, "Okay, excuse me. I really you don't want to be like the ugly American and do the wrong thing. And what do you do with a hammer and something at the table?" I wasn't really quite sure. He said, "Oh, well, you're supposed to break it with a hammer." That's how you eat it, and it's like a fun thing. So we're going to see if it breaks.
Okay.
Okay. Can you
knack it?
Okay.
So let me describe to our listeners. Gloria has made about a 9-inch, 8-inch round nut cake. It looks like compressed nuts.
It's actually not even a cake. It's more like it's a tart. It's like a half a cup of toasted blanched almonds. that are ground, and it's mixed with cornmeal. There's only 1 egg yolk in the whole thing. There's a little bit of Earth Balance margarine. This is on the app, actually, and on my blog site now. The whole menu is on the blog site and on my kosher cookbook page.
Okay, great.
And it's got orange zest and almonds and cornmeal and a little bit of flour. I'm doing my hamantash, and I'm also thinking about what I can use up in my kitchen for my demolition and pre-Passover.
Exactly.
So we've got some cornmeal, we've got some flour, we've got all these, and my grandchildren are allergic to nuts, so I'm limited to the nut desserts I can make.
Especially Pesach time.
I was very excited. It's very hard. Very, very scary for nut allergic children. All the almond milks and all the things people use to replace cream and milk and all that, and you can't see it and you can't smell it. So for the allergic child, parent has to be very vigilant, and they must ask, what is in this sauce? Even the noodles. The noodles are made with all kinds of oils, walnut oils and all kinds of things, which are acidic, but the child can end up in the hospital.
You've got to be really careful.
So you just have to ask and ask and ask. And it's really, my grandson is 7. He went to a birthday party last Sunday, and they served a Costco cake. And my daughter was so proud. He asked the mother to please call home and ask her if he could eat the cake. So he's been trained, He does not want to be. He's never had an anaphylactic experience, and he doesn't choose. He doesn't want to.
It's a little scary. It's
very scary. Okay,
all right. So let's bang on this cake. So
okay, I hope it's going to break. 1, 2, 3. Whoop! There we go. Yay! Okay. There we go.
Okay, we don't want to make too much.
No, I will clean up. I promise.
No. It's okay. All right, so now we're going to try.
Okay.
So we've broken it. See, Gloria covered her little hammer
with tinfoil.
With tinfoil, because you don't want to get it too dirty.
No, I didn't want my hammer to.
Not the hammer dirty, but the cake dirty from the hammer.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to eat this.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
All right, let's give some to ZK as well. Have you got a napkin there?
Yes, I forgot napkins as I ran out of the house.
Oh, here's a tissue.
Oh, perfect. That works.
Here's a tissue. We got everything here at the Nachum Segal Network.
Oh, terrific.
Okay. So it's mazonot because it does have flour in it.
It does. It has a little bit of...
Oh, my God. You hear the crunch? Are they picking up the crunch? You hearing me crunch? Right. Crunch and eat? This is divine.
Isn't this good?
And it seems so easy to make.
So easy, and there's no rolling. You make crumbs. I did it all in the Cuisinart. And it comes together with the 1 egg yolk. Then you just throw it into the greased 9-inch springform pan. You pat it down with your fingers. In the oven. It's about 45 minutes. You let it cool, and then it just slips off. You take the long spatula, slip it off, and it goes onto this. And it's fabulous. It's a great dessert.
I'm so making this for Shabbos.
Or breakfast.
We can make this in a triangle.
Yeah, you can make. Yes, absolutely.
We can make this in a triangle.
Absolutely, you can make it in a triangle.
For Purim.
Yes.
This is unreal. Yeah. I don't want to keep eating. We're gonna eat after we're off the air because we got a show to do.
Right.
But this is unreal. Light flavors. There's a hint of orange. Yeah. I love nuts. Beautifully. You know what? I think that's the difference when are these toasted, slightly toasted. That's the difference.
You have to toast nuts. You have to.
No matter what recipe you're making with nuts, if you're taking whole nuts, if you're making Susie Fishbein's chocolate berry tart for Pesach from her Kosher by Design Entertains cookbook, it's a very easy Pesach recipe. You could skip the step of toasting the pecans, but, when you toast the pecans, it takes a great recipe and it makes it outstanding. This recipe cannot be made without.
No, it brings out the flavor of the nuts and the orange zest.
Nuts have their own natural oils. That's why I guess, unfortunately, nuts are a little bit caloric. Super healthy and full of protein, but they're a little bit caloric because they do have oil. But it's a natural oil, and it brings it out, and it just makes it fresh and delicious. And that really, it comes through whether you're putting nuts in a salad or nuts in a recipe, and especially in a dessert. It's really outstanding. That's really good.
Thank you.
And a little chocolate sauce over the top.
Can't be bad.
Nuts
chocolate makes everything better.
Chocolate makes everything better. This is this is really delicious. Okay, we're going to continue to eat that when we're off the air.
Off the air, absolutely.
Okay, what advice can you give us now that we've got Purim right in front of us? Any great ideas that you've done over the years? You're a very experienced cook that you could share with us for Purim, and then we're going to segue that a little bit into Pesach.
Okay. I would say this is the first year in about, what do you say, Jonathan, maybe 15, 20 years that I have not made a Purim Suda because my kitchen is being taken apart.
Right, okay.
Normally I have 20 to 30 people. I have entire families, and that's grown because...
So how do you prepare for that?
I make
'Cause it's so
my hamantash
overwhelming.
in advance. Actually, I made my fillings last night. I Instagrammed those as well. I
Okay.
came up with a new one. I did pumpkin. I had leftover pumpkin puree in the freezer from Thanksgiving. So I did it with some pureed dried cranberries and a little cinnamon. So we have a new filling. So those can be done easily in advance, weeks in advance and frozen. I do a moussaka. I do a meat moussaka and a vegetarian moussaka because my daughter's vegetarian.
Okay.
So that can all be made in advance and frozen and is actually better sliced into portions when it's not quite defrosted so that you get neater pieces.
Right. Very
I do spare ribs in like a hoisin, so short ribs or flanken, basically.
Right, right.
Flanken.
Oh,
It's
yum.
flanken, guys. You know, we call it short ribs, spare ribs, whatever you want to call it. It's flanken.
That's what spare ribs is? Spare ribs is really
It's
fluffy.
really like flanken. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's a
Probably
very
melts in-
time consuming. It melts in your mouth. I
Okay,
mean,
can we get that recipe?
it's
I mean,
on the app.
It's on your...
It's on my blog spot. It's got
What's it called?
It's got spare ribs, short ribs, and hoisin sauce.
Okay.
An orange hoisin sauce. It's hoisin sauce. It's orange. It's like orange zest and orange peel and apricots, and it's got everything wonderful in it. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's
I'm so
It's really
hungry.
unbelievable. And that also benefits being made in advance because you need to take the fat off a couple of times.
Right.
So these things are
Right.
very fatty, and if you don't remove the fat, then you're
eating too much
You're
oil.
eating
You don't
too much
taste
oil.
the flavor. You're
Right.
tasting too much fat.
This meat just falls off the bone, and it's unbelievable.
Okay, I'm going to definitely have to try
And
that.
then I usually do some sort of a chicken or a turkey, you know, for some, and then a whole load of vegetables, which are done the last minute. I roast a lot of vegetables.
Yeah, I'm into that.
And then for dessert, I just stick with the Purim and fruit. You know, whatever fruit.
Right, you don't have to go crazy making desserts because
No.
between the hamantaschen
Yeah.
and all the nash, you don't need anything.
Right, and
else.
actually we start off with hors d'oeuvres in terms of nash. So I do fried olives, which are
Fried olives.
fried olives are spectacular.
Really?
Fried olives are unbelievable.
Okay, let's talk about that. Oh my gosh, we're almost running out of time.
So
Well, we got-
quickly,
yeah,
little-
we're not. We'll have to get to Pesach another time. You'll have to come back on in a few weeks to talk about
okay.
Pesach. But let's talk about fried olives.
These little pitted green olives.
Regular brand,
Regular,
any brand?
regular drained pitted green olives.
Okay.
And it's a regular fry. You put them in flour and then in egg. And then I use panko because I like.
I love panko.
I like the hairiness of it as opposed to the more ground up crumbs. And then
crunch.
it's a deep fry. So if you use an electric fryer, it's a 375. Otherwise, I mean, if you do it in a frying pan, it's also 375 if you use a temperature. And
Yeah.
they fry.
Always
and they
fry with an oil thermometer in it to
Yes.
make sure it's not burnt or soggy when it's under.
And they are unbelievable.
I'm kind of.
They are unbelievable.
My husband loves them.
Yes, they are. They're spectacular.
So
They
flour, eggs, plain
Flour-
breadcrumbs.
Panko. Yeah.
But
Plain.
flavored-
I don't
Yeah, because-
flavor. No,
Because
nothing.
olives have got their whole own natural.
And you eat it, and it's sort of a burst of moisture and a burst
taste
of yeah. It's really they're really they would be great with a good balance to the hamantinis.
the hamantini.
Yes, you have the sweet there, and you'd have the little tartness of the olive. Spectacular,
Right, who'd have thought? Right, that's amazing.
wonderful.
Delicious.
Wonderful.
Oh my god, that is incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And the kids love them. There are no pits. I don't like serving anything with pits at a
Pits, yeah.
crowd because then what do you do with them? Pits, stems, all those things.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have them when you have a crowd.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yes.
That's incredible. Wow. Okay, this has been an amazing show. We've had so much food talk. I mean, we are a food show.
We are food.
But
Yes.
we really got the palates going
Yes.
today and the salivary glands juicing up this Friday morning. We had Honey Applebaum from Busy in Brooklyn sharing, making us some hamantinis and talking to us about her crazy, amazing hamantaschen recipes.
Right.
You can go onto her blog, Busy in Brooklyn, and check them out. And of course, any minute now, Gloria's website is going to go live, kosherbygloria.com.
Correct.
She has a website now, so it's going to switch over from the older one to the new one.
It's not a website now. It's just a page on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's going to. We're going to try to rename it, and everything's going to start from the website when it goes live.
I'm so excited. I cannot
Thank
wait
you.
to.
I am too. You can sign up
see.
for emails even now. You can go on kosherbygloria.com and sign up for emails. So when it does go live, you will get on the emails.
You will know. Okay, great.
Yes.
We're gonna do that from my iPad when we're done here.
Great.
So it's been an incredible show. We've had this delicious. What did we call this?
It's an almond tart, Italian almond tart.
Italian almond tart. Absolutely fabulous. It'll be a very cute idea, actually, for
Yes, to do it in a triangle. It's
in a triangle and give everyone a little ham out at the Purim Surah. You've been listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. Our show is sponsored by Hod Golan Meats, the height of taste. We have music right up until lichbenching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for pledging to the Nachum Segal Network at jamintheam.org. And stay listening, and Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you next week at our live show in Cedarhurst.